Hey, aloha guys, Eric West here, HawaiiRealEstate.org. If you're new to the channel, I'm all about teaching you everything there is to know about Hawaii and its real estate that you just can't find in the listing. I was just live a few moments ago. The entire phone just stopped working. So anyway, I'm back. I'm gonna take it from the top. Just the way it is sometimes, right? You gotta do a take two. Not very often when you go live, you get to take two, man. It's always like completely unscripted, in the raw. There's no second guessing, there's no second anything. So this is my second chance. I must have said something I need to reform in a better way. So let's try it again, right? YouTube, again, if you enjoy the video, I'd love a thumbs up, a shaka, a share, a subscribe. Today we're talking about Kahana Bay beach erosion and what you need to know. If you're thinking about buying a condo anywhere from Kahana Reef, I'm gonna show you where that is real quick. Kahana Reef is up there right next to the Pohilani. That's the Pohilani oceanfront building right there. Next to that is the Hololani, which is right here. And then of course we have the beautiful Royal Kahana. Next to that, Valley Isle. And of course after that, where there still is sand, well, we have to talk about those guys because they're still good, right? But the condos that are gonna be mainly affected are gonna be right here. So here's the general plan. The general plan, and this has been in the works for a long time, right? Anything on Maui, by the way, takes forever. So this has been like, I don't know, what, 20, 30 years in the making, but I think it's gonna happen pretty soon. I'm gonna put a link in the description with the latest news so you can read it for yourself, but ultimately this is gonna be I'll give you the quick lowdown. So there's been a westerly current, there's been beach erosion happening here for years. If you look at pictures here from the 70s and 80s, there was 100 yards of sand. Now, okay, let's just give you a quick update. What we got sandbags and we have not much, okay? So they say it's because of a westerly trade. So westerly current. So what they're gonna do is they're gonna put out these T groins. There's gonna be 7 T groins. They're gonna put out there about 200 feet, off of the ocean, into the ocean. And these 7 T groins are gonna redirect the current. And all that sand is out there still. It's at the bottom of the ocean. They're gonna bring it back, put it up here. It's gonna create another 60 feet of beach. So it's going to be looking kind of like Kahana Poly right here, right? Yes! But what's going to happen is the value of these condos is going to do what? When all this sand comes back, it's going to go up. So you heard it here, maybe not first, but maybe you heard it somewhere. But I'd love to be a part of your story. When you have faith in a project before it comes to fruition, that's when you make the money, right? Before it happens, before you have the vision, you see what's going to happen. And this thing's getting close. And the link in the description, which I'll put after this live, basically what they're saying is that it's going through review. They're doing their studies. It's going to be a $20 to $40 million project. It's going to be funded through some kind of a taxation, whether it's on the condos here directly, the neighborhoods that are going to benefit from this, or maybe an overall tax somewhere on Maui, but they're trying to figure out who's going to pay for this thing. There's some federal funding that's possibly coming. They've done this successfully over on Oahu. If you look at Ko'olina, if you look at, I believe it's over by Eva Beach, 2 different projects have happened there where they've successfully put these T-groins in and have redirected the current or redirected the sand. And ultimately what's going to have to happen is, like, for example, the Hololani, check it out. They just put up this multi-million-dollar seawall right here. You can you can see it right here, obviously. This is the Hololani. That will have to come down. So that was the only way they were able to put up that seawall, is if they agreed to ahead of time taking it down if it came to that down the road. And that is exactly what will happen. But this entire area could be one big giant long sandy beach yet again. So if you've ever stayed here back in the day, I'd love to see pictures back in the 70s or 80s. There's some old school ones that they used to have in the lobby at the Royal Kahana. I haven't seen them there lately, but it's amazing how much sand used to be right here in this area, and I believe it's coming back. So I'll put those links in the description when I get back to my office and share that with you, the latest information about Kahana Bay and the beach erosion. But of course, if you're curious about any of these condos and what's on the market right now, this one right here, there's a lot of 1-bedroom condos that are on the market currently. They're trying to hit that $1 million mark practically, but you can always put in royalkahanaforsale.com. Matter of fact, most of my URLs are like that. The name of the property, forsale.com, and that'll take you right to everything that's currently on the market, pending, or recently has sold. But while we're here, guys, should we just do a quick little walk around? I mean, why not, right? What the heck? It's a Maui fix. The wind has stopped. Have you noticed that? It's like, I mean, not a skiff of wind, whereas the last few days has been like blowing like 70. Not quite that high. But we have still a little bit of cloud cover. I think it's going to be an off-the-chart sunset tonight. I just saw a couple whales out there kind of doing their thing. Is it just me, or has my gimbal gone sideways a little bit? Man, I'm telling you, equipment challenges that I deal with on a daily basis. Man, is it just me, or is it enough to drive a man insane between computers and phones and everything crashing and rebooting, and my goodness gracious. All right, so let's go down here. I'll show you what the beach actually does look like currently in front of the Valley Isle. By the way, this is Valley Isle. So one of the biggest differences between these two buildings, by the way, Valley Isle, no air conditioning, okay? None. Used to, believe it or not, that building had central AC and they shut it down. So it's been ducted and everything, but not anymore. This one does. This is your AC heaven right here. And it's included in your HOA fee. Yes, So that's a major difference. And if you remember back in the day, remember there was a little cabana right here that used to serve ice cream? Remember, it was right there in that corner? Right where those gals were walking, kind of right before that. They tore that down because the ocean was going into the little shack, the little surf shack. And we've got quite a few visitors on the island right now. Everywhere I go, I'm kind of amazed at the crowds. Just look at the pool right now. We've got some serious kiddie action going on here. Oh yeah. And then over here, notice the nice barbecues. That's all I can smell right now, by the way, is the smell of roasting chicken, steaks, and fish all coming together in a cacophony in my nose, mixed with the wafting Mai Tais and suntan oil. But that's okay. I'm working still. It's all right. I'll get a break one of these days. But as you can see, you can access the ocean here from the beautiful Royal Kahana. There's a shot of it. Some of the best views. Now, the other thing about the Royal Kahana you should really know about, I call it a white unicorn, sort of. Okay? Especially if you're in the market for a condo, it's good to get these things out in the open. Number one is, where's the view at? Is it just from the lanai, or is it from the lanai and the bedroom? Royal Kahana? Both. So that's huge. Sometimes that bedroom is in the back, right? And there's no view of the ocean from the back. Sometimes that back bedroom is facing the lower road and it's a louvered situation with no AC, and now you're listening to cars. So just stuff to think about. Little details, right? So here we are now in front of Valley Isle. And I'm just gonna go around the corner to the sands of Kahana. Boy, they named that thing properly, right? Because after all this time, it still has the sands in front of the Kahana. Now the sands of the Kahana is a pretty unique property in that it's got massive units, these giant 3-bedroom monstrosities with these huge views. It does have this thing called a sandwich lease. By the way, these are all fee simple properties, but you might see a Sands of Kahana on the market with this sandwich lease, and you're like, what the heck is that? That's just a little bit of royalty money to the developer that put the deal together back in the day. So you just throw in some cash every month just for the hell of it. Probably the best real estate deal ever put together, I would say. But there is no fee, there's no leasehold to worry about. They just call it a sandwich lease. And then of course that building at the very end is a timeshare. I don't know much about timeshares. I'm not really into them that much, but I can certainly put you in touch with someone if you need an expert, or if you're trying to get rid of your timeshare and you're ready to move up to a full share ownership in a fee simple property. We'll help you get rid of that thing and do it right. And then of course I'm looking at right here to the south, Pohaku Park, also known as S-Turns. There we go. And do I wish S-Turns was breaking right now? Oh my goodness. That's the surf break right there. Was out there a couple days ago. It was kind of happening right when the wind was blowing, because now the wind's not blowing and the surf is gone. I don't know how that works, man. Surf's up and it's blowing 60. Surf's down, still and calm. That's all right. These are definitely first world island problems, complaining about the surf. But here's just a quick shot of where the sand resumes, and imagine 60 feet of this going out back into the ocean after the Kahana Bay restoration is done on Maui time. So again, could be another 10 years for all we know. Don't hold your breath, people. But the good news is if you buy and hold and it happens eventually, I guarantee you it is going to be a serious boost to equity. Not that you need it at the moment, because equity is boosting as we speak. Seen about a 30% increase over the last year. Very low amount of inventory in the market currently, and if you're going to buy something, you got to jump on it pretty much right away. Multiple offers, and you know the drill. The worldwide real estate craze that we're experiencing right now. had some clients today that actually were from Vietnam, and they said the real estate's going crazy in Vietnam. I'm like, are you kidding me? It's just crazy, man. Got some nice tikis going over here. The sands of Kahana. Oh, doesn't that just make you want to be in Hawaii right now? Or just light some of these in your backyard? Oh, there we go. But nothing like a casual day sitting on a sandbag. That makes for a postcard, huh? So yeah, it is a little unsightly, there's no question, but you know what? They're doing what they got to do to protect their structures, and eventually this will all be mo better. So hit me in the comments, let me know what you think, if you've got some inside scoop as to what's going on. But it's one of those conversations that we have to have with people every time we show them a condo here and explain it to them. Then they get online, do their research, and those same links that I send them to, I'll go ahead and put in the description for you. Of course, over here we're looking at the beautiful island of Molokai. Got some nice ocean storms happening, some nice ocean rainfall. It's kind of fun to watch these storms kind of cross the ocean and explode rain all over the place, and just makes for a beautiful sunset. I think tonight could be off the hook, actually. I really do. So normally at this point in my lives I'll jump on my one wheel and go cruising, but I left it back in the car, the taco. So I thought to myself, you know what? I want to be close to the water tonight for some reason. Either that or it's time to go to the gym. I was hoping there'd be a little remnant of that surf left, but no, that's all gone. It's been a beautiful day out showing properties, touring. I toured land and houses all the way from Uluwalu to Laniapoko, then we went to Anapali, Lanikeha, Pinnacle, Summit. Man, I got work today all the way up to Mahana, and then we even went to the plantation. Oh, it was beautiful. But the good news is, man, we ended it with some nice fish tacos at Leilani's. So if you guys know anything about me, you know I've declared over and over that those are the best fish tacos you're gonna find anywhere on this island. And I dare you to prove me wrong. I'm telling you, they have it down. It's like McDonald's because it's the same quality. I mean, McDonald's got quality, right? I mean, I gotta admit, a cheeseburger, a quarter pounder here is a quarter, you know, they got that down. So I'm not equivalating these fish tacos to McDonald's other than their quality is consistent. Like every time, they're amazing. So thank you, Leilani's, for the best fish tacos on Maui. Make sure you get the slices of avocado with it. 1 flour, 1 corn tortilla. That's what I recommend. A little variety, you know what I'm saying? So anyway, we ended with a nice trip over to Leilani's, so that was super awesome. So hang on a second. We've got a nice little sunset cruise happening here. Matter of fact, my clients went out on a sunset cruise, so for all we know, it could be them. Aloha, Ryan. Beautiful. All right, guys, well, I'm going to cut it a little bit short tonight. Why? Because I'm actually going to shoot a recorded video of this scene right here and put it up. One thing I've discovered about my lives, not that probably anyone cares, but it's almost like news, right? It comes and it goes, and the video disappears. So some of these videos I want to put up and make sure that they're around for a while so I can teach people about what's going on in these different condominium projects and things that are happening. So the name of the channel is HawaiiRealEstate.org. Everything you really need to know about Hawaii and its real estate, but you can't find in the listing. I want to make sure these videos are searchable and findable in the future. So if you have any suggestions for things you'd like me to share, whether it's real estate related or otherwise, because remember, it's everything you need to know about Hawaii and its real estate. So I try to have a vast variety of topics that I cover, so by the time you come here, hopefully you've learned some things and you can just jump right into whatever it is that you want to do. But if you have suggestions, I've learned one thing: the best suggestions for my channel have always come from my viewers. So thank you so much for those things. I read all my comments. I try to respond to all of them. It's a little tough sometimes because, you know, there's a lot of you and one of me, but I appreciate all the comments, and I thank you so much for being the most aloha infused audience on planet Earth. And why do I say that? Because the weird people, they just go, right? Like, you're not going to live on Maui for very long if you're like negative and weird. I'm sorry, it's not going to happen. You're going to get ejected. So same thing with this channel. If you're weird and put in some weird kind of hateful comment, I just eject you. It's really cool. But anyway, I know it's censorship at some level, but it's just getting rid of the haters. Because what? Haters hate, right? So they can go over on their little channel, wherever that is, the hating channel. But the Aloha channel, oh no, ain't gonna happen. Aloha is the thing that makes Hawaii different. above all things, in my opinion, that factor that's in the culture. So it's in the channel, but it's also in the culture. So when you come and live here, I believe you're going to experience that in a beautiful way. And if you're not on that wavelength, I think Maui just kind of eliminates you. It just goes, you know what? You need to go back to wherever you came from soon. And most people do. But the cool ones, the lovely ones, the aloha ones, the ones that are meant to be here, destined to be here, I believe they stay for a very long time. Whatever that amount of time is, I don't know. That's between them, Maui, and God. But I don't know where I'm going with all this, but I'm very thankful for you guys. I'm thankful for Maui. I'm thankful for the vibe. And if you're going to come here on vacation or come here and retire, I believe you're going to sense it. You're going to feel it in the air. You're going to feel it with the people that you meet. And don't ever believe that little 1% of weirdos that's on Facebook or Instagram. They're all hating and being weird. That's what they do. They're the vocal minority that no one really should pay attention to anyway. So anyway, thanks guys for tuning in. I appreciate it. I shall return. I don't know where, I don't know when, but I can promise you it will involve this beautiful place we call Maui. Until next time, Eric West,